This is a short video. I don't have much space left now. I've been up on YouTube since August the 4th of 2013. And it's the day after Alexis Murphy disappeared. I'm going to leave it at that. That's one of the mind control murders that can totally be proven. I'm sitting here. I was kidnapped in 41, brought to Moulton, Alabama, and I usually lay all the information out, and I'm not today. I'm 78 years old, and it's over and done being so cruel and sick. It's a joke to most Americans that they kidnapped me and brought me over here and have been able to do the horrid things to me. I want to fill in some blanks here. I had done a medical malpractice book in Atlanta, in Marietta, Georgia, living at Moonraker Apartments off Delk Road on Powers Ferry Road. Beautiful apartments owned formerly by Penthouse Magazine, and then when I lived there, by the Mormon Church out of Utah. Now, I went back some years later, and all that beautiful, these were expensive, sunken tubs, gorgeous, the only time I've ever lived like that, while I was doing the book. And they had been torn down, and storage was put there. Unbelievable. So now then, I wanted to get into the book. I wrote it. I'd worked for doctors, and I found out how they could put chips in heart bypasses and control your thinking, your decision making. And I put all this up because, as a reference, Dixon was one of his chairman, Fair Show, had a chip put in him. After I left Dr. Kuchar's in Forsyth, when I was doing the book, and Forsyth was the cardiovascular that put the chip in. I didn't know that at the time. I was doing the book, so I left Kuchar's and Forsyth and McCoy's, who I like, by the way. And the next job I had was for Dixon at Powers Ferry, close to where I live. And I found out there about Fair Show. He had just had a heart bypass. He was chairman of the board, and I saw the papers where the doctor was Forsyth, and I found out. It just added to what I already knew. It's so advanced now, but back then it was advanced. But I was shown how you can do it with a ham set. You teach people the Morse code when they don't know at a low level that they're not aware they're getting, and you can remote control them. The Morse code, they don't even know you're doing it. So the shootings and a list of other deaths, this is how it's been done. Only now you're national security. Remember, Assange, Julian has told you the truth. He's been framed for being a kind, honest man, courageous. And then you've got Edwards. I think that is Snowden. Snowden. Who was is living in Russia because he told the truth. I have been, and right now being run out of Roanoke. I've been here since October. They're having the mass shooting anniversary. I hope I'm not showing. I'm sitting here trying the scabies. I've got scabies from all this good living I've lived, and it's about to kill me. But anyway, I'm just going to jump around and go back to what I was going to say. I'm too tired. It's been going on too long. When I did the book, Larry Flynt was shot March the 6th of 78, and everybody knows who Larry Flynt and Hustler Magazine is. And it's very sad because at least he flew me out there during a campaign in 83 and helped support me, and he furnished me a car for a year, and I haven't talked to him or seen him since. But I had antifreeze put in me. I had a letter from the FBI June the 23rd of 79. Ongoing investigation, national security involved. Now then, they put antifreeze in me April Fool Day of 80, and that was a joke too to them. This is ongoing crimes against me. They're stacking them, they say it. So I ended up going to the emergency room to see what was put in me. I didn't know what it was. I knew I was a dead person. I went to the emergency room, and they were ready for me. Dr. Chelton, later they said that he wasn't even on the staff there, so they're not responsible. And you had Beecham, and Dr. Beecham, and I was locked up rather than giving a tox. And this is a hospital you go to that's just normal. It's not to lock you up because you go to the emergency room for a tox screen. And Chelton is over Parkland, Parkwood or was. And that's the same hospital, Parkland out in Dallas, where John Kennedy was killed and taken. The Kennedys helped kidnap me. So I wouldn't put this down, though. Back in '80, I was illegally transferred. I wasn't given the tox screen. I thought maybe it could dilute if I found out what it was. It was hell, and it was Easter, 1st of April, and then that Sunday on the 6th was Easter Sunday. I was dumped in a car with Lina Dempsey, who helped, she killed her twins, and that's where they took me, the psychopath. And I was dumped in her car by Philip, who I don't think he's her son either. But he works for an agency, one of the agencies, and he's retired. But back then, he and his wife Nancy and my ex-husband shoved my head down in Dempsey's car, and me begging to go back to my apartment and my kids. And I hardly ever saw my kids again except for just a couple of times. And I ended up, of all things, I'm skipping part of it, working for the District Attorney Simpson, as in Wallace Simpson was supposed to marry the King Edward VIII, which was a lie. He was married to my mom, Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, Windsor, when he was forced to abdicate December 36. He never married Wallace Simpson. It was a character assassination by the Kennedys, by the Rockefellers, Rothschilds that control your media, and by the Roosevelts, the Jews. A lot of them were Jews. In my own family, George VI, his own brother, who's illegal, and therefore Elizabeth is illegal. She's living in my home. I'm the legal heir, Victoria II. Now then, I passed a background check after having the antifreeze dumped in me, enough to kill me. I should not have lived. It was so hard to pretend nothing was wrong with me. And I passed the background check the Sheriff Patterson ran, went to work for the DA, lived at Warren House, as in the Warren Commission covered up the Kennedy assassination. It would lead back to my kidnapping. So now then I'm going to leave that part, and I'm going to, while I was there, Ronnie Filippo was I meant to look this up, he was in the House of Representatives, I believe. He was over the Space Administration, which is NASA, is in Huntsville where it started. And my ransom came in different ways, not just money, like in getting people like Warner von Braun to come over here to keep me alive as scientists. So my money, my hell, built my kidnapping. The Brits and Germans built the Space Center in NASA in Huntsville. And then it became, Cape Canaveral became Kennedy Space Flight Center. Now I want to just say this. During that Christmas of '81, I believe it was, just prior, I was working for Hertz selling dinner club menus or plans. And they'd built the new airport in Huntsville, and Ronnie Filippo's office was there, so I thought, well, I'll go to his office, and I made an appointment. And I can hardly, after these years, I haven't recovered back then from the antifreeze. So I try and see if this is going. I met with Ronnie Filippo's, a person was there in the office, and he introduced himself as Oliver Jones, and he was head of the office for Bob Jones, U.S. House of Representative from Alabama, or senator, I can't remember. But anyway, Oliver Jones knew all about me. He let me record on a recorder, and then he left. And so he knew about my kidnapping and all of this, as all of your presidents, your national security agency, all of you have known about the takedown of my dad, the illegal treaties, the reason you really went into Great Britain, not to help us, to take over everything we have, even the monarch. Elizabeth's part of the New World Order, and that can be proven. That's, she represents them, and she's illegal. So I guess what I wanted to say now, all this stuff has happened to me since then. It's a horrid story. And now I sit here at my age and I have been bitten with bed bugs because I stayed at a place 5 months where I would have left had I not been promised an apartment at Richfield. It's a long story about Richfield, Edinburgh, Joseph Dream over in Bedford, and Scott Hill out in Clifton Forge. These are HUD. I am kept homeless. It's how it's done. And I have put it up, and unless an attorney comes on my behalf, then none of this is ever going to be told. It's such a sordid, sick thing done to me and my sons. I hope they're alive and well somewhere. The last I saw of them, well, I'm not even going to say that anymore. I'm not. It may be a giveaway itself, and I don't need my, I hope my children are fine. So I don't know anything else to say. I've put up pictures, and, that's it.